Is everybody in? All right. I'm gonna hit a button here. Okay. Definitely gonna need to mute that laptop. Okay. Exhibit A. That'll be explained here in a minute. Hey everyone, in today's live stream, we are going to attempt to fix these two vacuum tube tuners from, I believe they're both from the 1960s. I know this one is, and I would assume this, it's called a Bell Carillon 6070. It's an AM FM tuner. This one is only FM. So, why are we here? Well, I need to get these done, and I don't think either one of these tuners will do terribly well in an individual video, but I need to look at them. So here they are tonight. I thought it'd be cool to do two similar things. Then a quick little explanation on this. In setting up the live stream here, if you look at the chat thing, it lets you set goals, and my first thought was, that sounds a lot like another website. But then I thought to myself, well, what if I put some ridiculous goal that'll never happen just for fun? So if this live stream somehow brings in $1,000 in super chats in 3 hours, I will drop everything, take this Marantz 2015 straight to the car wash and power wash it live on YouTube. And logistically, in my head, I'm thinking I can just use my cell phone and just kind of live stream the drive over there and just, start live streaming with my phone, So what that means is, since this stream is being done with fixed technology that's plugged into the wall, I won't be able to do it in this live stream, I don't think. So I'd have to start a new live stream. So that's just kind of how that would work. But I tell you what, this thing is just an absolute disaster. It might not look too bad from a distance, but I'll zoom in on it. This thing was on eBay for a really long time. And if any of you watch eBay for vintage Marantz, you may have seen this sitting there for quite a while. It had a cut power cord, it was untested, and just overall in really questionable cosmetic condition. So I bought it. I paid an absolutely insane amount of money for it, in my opinion, especially given what I got. It was like, I think it was nearly $300 after shipping, which is just bad, but that's good for me in this. And this thing smells like a vault toilet. I think that this was in some kind of septic backup basement flood or something. And on the inside, it doesn't look dirty, but like as I worked on it, and I'm like making this video as I go, the smell started to get to me. So it needs to have something done to it. So um, you'll see this get power washed someday, whether it's today or not. So, but this is just for fun. I don't think this is actually going to happen, and it probably will not happen. Let's go take a look at the chat. Hello, hello everybody. Greetings. Let's see. Greetings. OHIO, yeah, okay, whatever. Y'all know I'm a Spartan. Hello from Bozeman, Ned Davies. All right, so I think we should get started with the bell over here. So I'm gonna take the Mac off, We'll put it in a safe place, and we'll switch to the bell in just a minute. I'm gonna not trip on these cords. Okay, the Mac is in my leather chair. So, the bell. What do we got going with the bell? Well, we've got some notes. I'll show you what it says. And we've got a piece of paper inside, too. This piece of paper, I think this is just scrap. It looks like we've got good, replace, very good. So 4th of January 2024. So someone's been in here and tried already. Looks like they've tested the tubes. And I think that's what this says right here. Let me zoom in on that for all of you. What do we got? In-op. Fuse holder replaced. Wiring. Cleaned tuner. Good tube tests. January 2024. Okay. So, it's safe to assume, maybe, that this has not been powered on since January of 2024. So, I don't really have a good barometer of, like, when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate, or not required to bring old tube stuff up on a Variac, but might as well just be safe in case anything ridiculous happens. Let's not knock over the scope. That'd be great. Okay, so just adjust that again. Let's put the Variac into the device under test port, and we'll run this in DimBulb. And so then we have both. Got that visual indicator. So this Variac my grandfather built in like the 2000s. I still don't even know how he did it. So it looks like we flip power on right there. I'm going to set this to FM. I don't know what sharp and broad means. What else? What else do we have? Dishwasher. No, that's going to be $2,000, Glenn. Oh, I missed 69. Must have been nice. George T. Tainer. Watch the X-Ray Tony B video that he did recently-ish on a 2015. 2015 front end has a lot of bad transistors. They look kind of like saucers with gold lights sticking out of them. And he named all of the replacements he used to solve his tuner issues. So you may direct your tech toward that, or try it yourself if you're able. Let's have this is a non-alcoholic beer, Coors Edge, for when you want to have fun, but you gotta be serious. What's everyone else drinking? What's everybody drinking? You gotta be drinking something. It's Thursday night. It's almost the weekend. Okay, where was I? We're on DimBulb. This thing's turned down. This thing's powered on, so should I pull the cover? I don't know. Sure, let's pull the cover. We might need to get in there. We'll do that first. I think it's fairly simple with some of these tube guys. Looks like Phillips had used the non-JIS for this. 4 screws on the bottom. And in theory, once those 4 are out and I don't lose the washers, it should just slide straight back. I'd also like to apologize to everybody again for the really bad stream quality of the one of these I did planned recently. That was pretty unacceptable, streaming in 240p. Not cool. Not proud of that. So hopefully this is a good way to make it up to you. All right, cover's off, and immediately it looks like this thing is, I don't know what the heck is going on here. It's looks like it's been painted. Has the corrosion been painted over with silver paint? This is loose. Yeah, check this out. This is pretty interesting. I've got a really big, thick cable on this camera, so I gotta grab the tripod and do this. What's going on there? What do we got going on here? Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I do think that's paint. This has probably been in some wet conditions or something. But anyways, let's start bringing this up. And we need to do this slowly. All right, we're turned on. That's plugged in, blah, 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 blah. Let's go give it, I don't know, 35 volts? Sure, why not? Nothing is happening. Nothing is indicated on my light bulb. I suppose I could check a capacitor for voltage to see if anything is happening at all. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, and before everybody gets on me over it, let's use the isolation transformer. I don't normally use the isolation transformer. The isolation transformer is a great tool because it isolates you from your house mains. What does that mean? Well, what this is it's just a one-to-one transformer. So there is only a magnetic field between the power happening here and the mains on the rest of the house. So in theory, you can't get shocked nearly as easily when you're rocking the isolation transformer. And look at that, the dim bulb does not like the isolation transformer, apparently. Either that or we're pulling a bunch of current. Let's see. I don't think I've ever run the dim bulb with the isolation transformer. Interesting. Okay, let's think here. How do I do this? We have to have the dim bulb after the isolation transformer. And I don't have my old dim bulb, so we need to take the test box and plug the test box into the isolation transformer. Is that this cord? Yes, it is. Maybe I should just always have this on the isolation transformer. Okay. So that means this goes here. And this goes here. Right? And this goes here. I'm sure that made all the sense in the world. Okay, so now, in theory, things should happen when I do that. But now I need to get this bottom cover off so I can see what's going on underneath. And if we're in op, that means there's a good chance I've got dirty controls also. Or it could be something worse. Excuse me. We are in the belly of the beast. Now, where's that capacitor I was thinking about? All right. All right, guys, don't make me power wash this. No, we'll see what's happened. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much, guys. This is incredible. Um, and yeah, um, Pedro, I don't know if you've got a really good eye or you're talking about this one, but I do have a Marantz 2215B right here, and it is powered on. This is our preamp power amp, so we can listen to what's coming out of these tuners. So that's ready to go for us. So anyways, multimeter. I want to make sure anything is happening. So first, what I'll do is we gotta switch that back to dim bulb. We've got our power there. We're shooting out 30 volts, so let's see if we have 30 volts AC at the fuse. Carefully. Well, we have 0 volts AC at the fuse. What about at the power cable? Okay, so there's our 31 volts. And then at the fuse, we have not that. So let's just take a look at that immediately. Take a look at this here fuse. Why would we not have continuity at the fuse? Is this fuse good? What do we have? Do we get the beep beep? It's gonna beep beep. It's gonna beep beep. Okay, we got the beep beep. Good, good, good. Go back. Go back in there. Be happy. Be healthy. Okay, there's that. So, if I do that again, we should have 40 some volts. Oh, I'm a moron. I was measuring the fuse in series. That was stupid. Okay. Still good to check though. Okay, so we should have 40 some volts there, and then 40 some volts there. Okay. Fuse is good. Now let's see if the capacitor is getting charged. There is a capacitor in here. We'll measure to ground. Okay, well that one is nothing. That one is nothing. Unless this thing isn't grounded, which it should be. It should be grounded. We should get something there. Is our power switch working? Did I leave it turned on? Yeah, I turned it on. Okay. Okay, so that lives over there. Yeah, I mean, I should get like some DC voltage. When I probe around here, I should get something. And there is nothing. So when you look at these capacitors, nothing. Okay. Okay. Let's check out the power switch, because I don't think it's getting power. So, power switch is right here. Kind of cool how that thing works. Let me show you. Bear with me while I fumble through this and don't move the camera. I'll try to move the camera around as much as I can. So, look at that. Let's go and flippy flip in there. And we got a whole bunch of corrosion on that. That's kind of interesting. But anyways, so this is turned off. Which means if I were to jumper this thing, where are we? Jumper. So I'm gonna get right on the switch contacts for the power switch, which are behind what you're looking at. And then I'm going to hook those jumpers up to my probes. See if I can get away with this. Not really. I'll have to take that off. There's that one. And I'm going to set this to continuity. So I should get nothing when I do that. And then I should get a beep. Okay. Power switch works. So why in the heck are we not getting power? Unless I just haven't powered it up all the way. I don't know. Let's check in on everybody. 108 in Vegas today. It was much cooler here in Bozeman, I'll tell you what, but it was a hot day. 1950s Sherwood? Well, it's a Bell, not a Sherwood. The Magnepans are great. I listened to them and thoroughly enjoyed myself yesterday listening to them. Listened to some, I was in a Dire Straits mood. I played some Dire Straits, just deep tracks. I'm trying to get to know Dire Straits better than just the first album and Brothers in Arms. Would like to know a little bit more. All right. If voltage isn't high enough for the filaments, you won't have DC voltage to charge the cap. Well, that could be true. So let's find out. So let's put this back on the chassis right here. And then I'm going to hook this one up to the main capacitor. Let's see. Okay, there should be some voltage at this thing right here. All right, so I'm on one of the capacitors, set it to DC. Let's just start bringing stuff up and see if we get a number. Can you see that? Is anything going to happen? Okay. Nothing is happening because I left it off. Let's try that again. Anything at all. No, nothing. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, this thing's not working. It's doing nothing. Maybe. Why does it not turn on? Very strange. Is there any signs of life anywhere? Where's the rectifier tube? Do we get AC off of transformer? Let's see. Let me see. I'm gonna turn that back down a little bit lower. There is some tape on the wires that go to the power switch. And that's kind of interesting. Okay. Again, if I didn't say CZO Chan, thank you for the gift, and Ned Davies, thank you. Thank you guys. Yep, dead as the dodo. Alright. It won't turn on! Why won't it turn on? Well, we measured the power switch at the power switch, but how about we follow these wires to where they actually connect to the unit, which is this one and this one. So let's see. Alright, do better. Come on, get it. Okay. Put these back on. Go to continuity, we should be turned on. Okay, power switch. Oh. Well, that's interesting. That should be getting switched, right? What's going on there? Alright, I need to do some wire tracing. So, in review, let's go back to that power switch. Let's just do this again, because I see those two wires. They're going down, and they're going over to the power outlet. This is what's switching the power. So, if I turn this on, it should go. If I don't lose my probe, then it'll turn off. On, off, on, off, on, off. So, therefore, these wires, if I follow these two wires through to the other side, and it's these two wires, I'm looking right at them. I think I need to know what's going on under this tape. Ah! Ho ho! What the frick is happening here? What? What the heck? Ooh, this is getting good. What is that? What the bleep is this? Why is this like this? Well, that ain't much of a power switch anymore. If its wires are junk. Okay. We cannot have this. This is not okay. So I'm almost more confused now. Like, these wires are basically shorted together. Okay, let's just cut there. And we'll cut here. Alright. So what I'm confused about now is when I put my multimeter continuity mode on here and here, which, you know, here's the two wires. One goes there to the outlet, and the other goes here to this post that goes to, looks like transformer. Yep, that's transformer. So what happens? Okay, so why are these shorted together? How do you turn this thing on? So those are shorted together, and the switch is working, but then I have these two wires connected to one another, then that switch would just continue to do nothing, right? Okay. Okay. Maybe... So we have a new power cord. Maybe it's not installed correctly. Because I'm looking at this. So we have each pin in the power, each side of the power cord going right there. So where do these go? One of these goes to the fuse, and the fuse goes into the transformer. Oh. Well, maybe this has something to do with it. Maybe this has something to do with it. I just feel like this is not wired properly. If I were to solder this in to that fuse there, I think we'd just be turned on and we'd have no switching. So now I have to actually think about this. All right. How did it not short? I don't understand what's happening here. What do you all think? Boost the audio some, they say. Okay. Let's see. My receiver is over here. And I can go like that. All right. Tell me if the audio's boosted, because that's about the best I can do with my receiver. The output is turned up all the way in OBS. And I could move my microphone closer to my mouth, so that might help you all. I apologize for the bad audio. Limiter to -5. Okay. I'll humor you for just a moment with our favorite song. Let's see. Tracks, albums. Okay. Tape monitor. There we go. So, I'm having to do big thinking stuff, folks. I'm having to... Because, like, normally, when the power comes in, one leg goes straight to the fuse holder, right? So that the fuse is just immediately in it to win it, right? So, I think what needs to happen is this wire here should not be on the fuse holder, and one of these brown ones should. We are not on dim bulb. We are turned off. No power is going to anything right now. Okay. Let's turn on the Heiko and let's turn on the soldering iron. We're not going to worry about this for a minute. So essentially what needs to happen is we need to be switching these two black wires because these are your primary on the transformer. If I were to measure across those two, we'd probably see some resistance because it's a transformer primary, maybe? Some small amount of resistance. Yeah, like 11 ohms. That feels like a transformer primary. So, all right. We need to desolder these, one of these wires. One of them needs to go to the fuse. Okay. Hope you enjoyed everyone's favorite song. Let's see here. I'll put on safety glasses just to be a good boy. See, this is more how I wanted the last one to go. I wanted the last one to be a little more like this. Okay, there's that. And then I'm just going to take this outlet out of the circuit. I don't think... And also, this outlet is cracked and not safe to use. So I will take this out of circuit, actually. I'm not going to be replacing this. So, in here, we've got to get some of these wires out. Let's shove our iron in there. Let's heat this up and bend that, which you're not supposed to do, but I do it all the time. Let's get this. All right, nice and hot, nice and hot. There's one. All right, and then this one here. This will be fun. I think I'm gonna set my tip to 800 because I'm just working on a thing that's useless. The outlet, I mean. We will not put this outlet back in. Okay. And then oopsies. All right. There. All right. Power cord is free. So now we need to figure out how we're going to do that. And this is one of our power switches. Not one of our power switches. Our power switch lead. All right, that's just broken now. Okay. That is done. So, if I were, oh god, yeah, how about we let's cut and restrip those. Let's see. So that one's on the fuse. I do not fix helicopters or airplanes, unfortunately. Hello, Terry. Thank you, mate. Glad you're enjoying it, mate. Okay, so here's what I realized. I downloaded the schematic for this before this, but the Radio Museum only gave me half of it. Like, I only have one page of this schematic, so let's see if this is the page that has the power coming in. And it looks like it is not, because those are your antennas. This is your FM stage, this is your AM stage, and I'm lacking how the power supply works. Great. But this shouldn't be very hard to figure out. This shouldn't be too bad. I just think a little bit more slowly about these things when under pressure from all of you. So, all right, well, I think first of all, these need to go. Oh, let's go back here so I can see what I'm doing. Because that's gross. Don't want that. Or that. And then we can get new ones. Stand up for that. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay. One of these is going in the fuse holder. So let's just do that right now. Who's ready for the Pioneer SX3900 tomorrow? Raise your hand. You? Awesome. Glad you're excited. Yeah, that one took me a while, tell you what. Okay, is that good? Yeah, it should be fine. Pioneer SX3900 is a very cool unit. It's a shame that it has to live in the shadow of the 1980. But, you know, I guess it is what it is, right? Everything good must come to an end at some point. Okay, that's just, I don't know what that is. Okay, so goober. All right, so then what I would kind of imagine happening is after this, we have to have alright, so the power switch, how is this gonna work? I feel like this is very small gauge wire for the power switch when the transformer has this larger gauge wire. That's kind of interesting to me. I would think that maybe this wire could just go straight to the power switch, and then the other wire can reconnect, and that should be it, right? Yeah, because we come in right there through the fuse to the transformer, and the transformer must come out. I mean, technically, the fuse what does it matter? Which side do you have to put the power switch on? Because, like, this is a non-polarized power cord, I think. Well, maybe it's a polarized, and then I can track down. Nope, non-polarized, so it doesn't really matter too much what we do here. Let's see. What do you all think? Yeah, I have no idea how to read schematics either. Come on, Terry. Yes. Yes, Paul. Or P-Click. Why did I think your name is Paul? It might be Paul. Everything should have a polarized plug. But I'm not doing that tonight. So, if I wanted to get this working right now, I would connect this wire to the switch and this wire to the switch. So maybe I'll just do that. But I need more wire for that. This is interesting solid core wire. And how hard am I pulling that? It's a shame I had to pull it back so far for this one. So yeah, I'll have to splice. I'll have to splice. And then what? I need some wire. Let's see. I've got wire somewhere. How about in here? Sorry about all the noise. But there's some wire back here. Ooh, this came out of the Volvo when that was a thing. Is this okay? Let's see. Yeah, this'll do. This is just random black wire that we're going to be splicing here tonight. So, let's see. I'm going to cut that shorter just so I can work a little bit easier. I guess technically what I should be doing is running fresh wire all the way from the switch instead of splicing. This right here though, I'm a splice right here. I'm going to get lazy with that one. But let's take a look at the switch. Let's see how much I feel like dealing with that. I don't know. Do I feel like dealing with that? Getting the Hakko all the way in here and going like this. Yeah, I can deal with that. Just gotta not melt these wires that are nearby. Oh, that didn't work. Come on. Be nice to me. There we go. Okay. There's that. See, I chose to do this because these terminals on this switch, they're nice, big, open rings. So I can actually get a new thick gauge wire in there relatively easily. But if these were tiny or difficult to get to, I would not be doing this right now. Nope. Need more vacuum. Take it away. Alright. Caught the mic there. I think I'm gonna snip the wires. Oh, wait a minute. If I remove this faceplate, then I can remove the switch, and then everything is easier. Huh. Who would have thought? How do I do that? Well, in order to do that, I must pull all these. Can you even see that? No. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to take off the faceplate. Oh, are we? Do these have set screws? Or are they just not being nice to me? Excuse me. Okay. And then we have one back here. Oh gosh. It's a number one. Why is it a number one? Why would you do that? Everything else is number 2. Why is it number 1? Well, these are number 2. And that's why I keep it number 1. Well, that was not expected. What did I do? Ah. So I did not need to do that. But I did it. So I could probably just put those back if I really wanted to, but maybe I'll do that once the faceplate is off. This screwdriver is not magnetic and it makes me angry. Shoot. Okay, well, I should be able to get that when this thing freaking comes off. Oh. There's 2 underneath. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. 2 underneath. 2 underneath. Come on. Holy moly. That is something. Gotta be careful I don't strip that. Oh, jeez. Wow. Yeah, this thing definitely got wet. I hope that came through in the audio. Oh, no, it's just another... Why do I keep getting trim pieces when I do this? I'm trying to... All the trim pieces come off. Okay. This is held in with a clip or 2, so that comes off. Actually, let's set these off to the side. And then, oh gosh, this thing comes off with a screw, a number 1 screw. All right, finally get to this stuff. Okay, this is what I wanted. Yeah, look at that corrosion. This thing got wet, like wet. All right, that's a machine screw. Okay, there's that. Almost. Okay. And I should be able, yep, there we go. So there's the power switch. There is the power switch. And that means I can come in here and remove this stuff with my tip a little bit. Try and bend it some without making too much smoke. Actually, no. This is silly. I'm just gonna snip it. I'll snip that. Well, that went flying. So now maybe I can, well, let's snip the bulk of this first. Okay, those are clean now. So what that means for me is I can take this nice fresh new wire and I can cut it to length and solder new bits directly to that power switch. Was that the right size? Jeez. Okay. So I need a length that goes from about here to here. So let's just cut right here and then do this. And then we go, what was that length? It was that. Should be enough. And then let's stick this in here. Folks, we've got a Sadie. She is against the legs, brushing up on the legs. You know, with the whole goal thing. I thought about adding a goal of like, I don't know, like $100 super chats, and then I show a cat. And well, I thought that was not fair to my viewer. I think that to put a paywall behind Sadie is not ethical for me and would actively hurt my channel. If I wasn't just handling a bunch of lead, I'd pick her up. But I need to wash my hands first before I do that. Let's get this first wire in here. And then what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to fish these two wires through the chassis. And then I will hook them up as I think they need to be hooked up. That's too short. Okay. And we'll take this one. Yep. Did you hear that? That's Sadie doing Sadie things. Being a crazy kitty. Okay. I'll probably have to trim this up a little bit, but I think I'm ready to solder. And this is the inaugural, maybe, this is a brand new spool of solder. Last one lasted me about 10 years. So that's how often I do this stuff. It's just a hobby, folks. Just a hobby. Okay. Yep. Gotta clean that up some. See, I don't like that too much. Focus. Focus. There. All those little bits. I gotta clean all that up with these guys. I'm gonna do it on the trash can down here, so I don't have a bunch of. I'm still here. I'm just down a little bit lower with Sadie, actually, and of course it's fine everywhere, anyways. I'm still here. Trust me. Okay. Coming back. Okay, so I like that. Let's fish these into the chassis. Flip up, or on side. Run the wires through. A bunch of junk is falling out. What is all this junk? I don't know. Alright. I think I'll just go ahead and re-secure this switch immediately. I'm making a mess. I'm gonna need to dial it back and collect myself in a minute. Okay, there's one. Thread, please. Thank you. How about this one? Will you thread? Oh, you will thread. How kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. So, there's a power switch, and it's, this wire is a little bit heavy for what I'm doing here, but it's modern-ish wire, and it should stay okay for us. Okay. So, yes, I gave myself plenty of wire. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to splice right here and get that with heat shrink. And then right here, I'm going to undo this real quick so I can get rid of that old wire. There, that was easy. So now I can just, well, should I twist these together? Sure, why not? Why the heck not? Not necessary, but it sure is fun. So, I think the one needs to be a pretty specific length. I think I'll go right there. About there. Sadie, what are you doing? She's playing with my insulation bits. Okay, and then this one needs to be cut right about here. Alright, I'll strip this one first. We need a decent amount of conductor so we can wrap around this post right here. Yep. Alright, that should be good there. Let's get that soldered in place. Oh yeah, just gopping that stuff in there. Okay, that should be pretty solid. Now, thank you, Lone Wolf. Thank you so much for the gift. Yeah, that's hot. That is hot. Okay, so what's the number one thing everybody forgets when they do a splice? The heat shrink. So I'm not gonna forget, dang it. Let's use blue stuff, because why the heck not? I've had this junk in my thing forever. I've never used it, so we're just gonna use it today. Blue heat shrink. Why not? Okay. Oh, jeez. Woo. The copper strand got me. I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick. Sadie. Please stand by. Your regular programming will resume shortly. That should be okay. Yep. That's a very, very tiny wound. It'll heal while we're live. Let's see. How is everybody doing here? Never really looked at the 3800, but I'm sure it's pretty similar to the 3900 there. Okay. Don't worry about it, BM Bolt. Tuner stuff isn't so bad. I almost never work on tube stuff, and here I am doing it in front of 139 people. So, okay, that should be good. Let us continue. I was gonna consider cutting this one back even more, and I will, because that will allow me to make a nicer splice. Okay, there we go. So, I did this 10 trillion times when I was building the Volvo and the Jaguar. Just spliced a bunch of wires together. It's a great time, tell you what. You get good at it. Alright, so those are twisted. Heat shrinks over there. Let's get some nice hot solder on there. Okay, that looks good. That's looking nice. See, let's zoom in on that. I do have to touch the camera every once in a while, otherwise it'll time out. Yeah, there we go. Everything's looking okay. You can see how crappy my soldering is. Yeah, that's fine. So, there it goes. Bye-bye. Now it's time for the fire! Shrink, 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 shrink. Booyah. How about that? Alright, folks. In theory, this should turn on now. In theory. I think just for me to feel super safe, I'm going to wrap that heat shrink in electrical tape as well. Some of the strands on that copper wire that I decided to use are sharp, as you just saw. I have scissors over here. I'll just get a piece of tape and wrap it around. If I can do it clean. Oh, it's going to pick up all the junk and fold over itself in the process. Oy, oy, oy. Whatever. Fix-It. The highest quality repair in Montana. Not really. That ain't the worst, though. I'll give myself that. Okay. There we go. So, if I jam those wires into that little crevice there. Okay, we come in, we go to fuse, we go to transformer, then we come out of transformer, we go to switch, then we go to other end. This should turn on. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's the final countdown. Cue the music. zoom out the camera so people can see. Okay, let's see what we got going here. A bunch of junk. Anything? Okay. Boy, if this thing works, that'll be pretty interesting. Okay. We know the switch works, so we don't really need to worry about that. We just want to see voltage at a capacitor at some lower voltage on the what do you call it? Variac. Let's try right here. I don't know where that is, but let's just see what happens. Okay. Dim bulb. Power on. And let's bring it up. Is that a thing? Oh. Wait, no. The dim bulb is dim. Did I plug it in? No DC voltage on that. Am I hooked up properly? Anything? We are plugged in to the Variac. So we should have something happening. Let's check. I'm going to check AC at the how do I check AC now? So I should have, let's go down a little bit. I should be able to find 30 volts somewhere on this thing. Let's see, I don't know how, I have no way of tapping into the other side of the switch now. That's the thing. Well, I have a way. I just need to go off the power switch, right? What do you all think? AC voltage. I'm looking at whether power is even making it to this thing. So I need to, but I covered up the other end of the leg, the AC, with my heat shrink. So let me get let's get one of these guys on the power switch so I can check across the transformer primary, make sure I am getting something, right? Come on. Of course, there's no good way to grab onto this thing. Okay, so that means I should be able to make it go beep beep beep, right? So if I go, okay, I'm going across the wrong end apparently. Okay, I'll grab the lower one. So we're off. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? I'm probably missing something. Why are you doing this? Okay, so... Okay. Switch works. Yeah, maybe I should just take this to the power washer. That would make sense. Okay, let's check the fuse continuity one more time. There's continuity on the fuse. Okay, so in theory, all right, how about this? In theory, remember when we checked across the secondaries on the transformer? Okay, so I should get nothing right there. But then when I flip this switch, I should get like 10 ohms. Yeah. Okay, so why aren't we getting power to anything? Does it just need more juice? This should be working. Okay, it's turned on. Dim bulb. Okay, I'm just gonna give it voltage. Oh, okay. There. Right there. Right there. Sorry, it wasn't in view. The filament on the dim bulb lit up. We got some light on there. So, something is happening now. Something was happening earlier. Everything... Alright, so let's check voltages on those caps again. If I'm even doing that correctly, which I should be doing. Okay, DC. There! Why wasn't that there before? Somebody says light came on. Maybe these were on, I didn't notice it. But what's happening now is we are at 76 volts. Yep, we are drawing about how I would expect to be drawing right now. This is good. This is progress. This is not where we were when we started. I deserve a sip of non-alcoholic beer for that. Now, for my next stack, everything goes up in smoke now. Hopefully not. Are these warm? Are the filaments doing their filament thing? Interesting how the voltage is going down at this capacitor. I would expect there to be fairly high voltage right here. What's happening there? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna plug in the audio to the back here, and let's see if we can hear anything. Okay, stereo output, volume down, tape monitor off. Okay, output right here. Okay. Okay. I have static of some sort. Let's bring more power. Okay, so we're only able to supply this with 85 volts on the dim bulb. So what I'm gonna do now, oh, and the static goes away when I pull that away. So actually, let me bring this back up. Let's get that static back. And here's an antenna. Let's Let's see if we can get anything in FM. I think, yep, FM's right there. And then that's AM. Okay, nothing yet. A little too optimistic. Do we have to be sharp? No, we're just broad. What about AM? That sounds like AM, all right. So we're definitely getting somewhere. Other stations up here. Why is that not moving? Okay. Got some travel issues with the that thing here. Okay. Cool. No. Don't tell me there's magic smoke. Unless there is magic smoke and I don't see it. All right. Let's go no Variac. Let's go. Oh, where'd that thing go? Ah, here it is. I'm gonna throw this on here, and this is gonna give me amperage reading. If I see anything above like 3 amps or whatever, I'll get concerned. But okay, we're off. Coming to line, and let's give this thing some juice, folks. Let's do it. Okay. We'll go back to that 85 volts we were at earlier. We pull 0.2 amps at 88 volts. I'll never get that on camera. It's way too dim. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that, but the AM radio sounds are back. We're not pulling anything crazy. Everything seems to be okay so far. I'm gonna put this down. Okay, and I want to go back to FM. I would like to receive an FM broadcast. I think that'd be really cool. Why is this thing really hard to turn? What are we running into? I think I'm going to break the tuner string. Okay. Still only at 99 volts, so let's get to like, I don't know, 110. There's 110, pulling 0.4 amps. Let's throw an antenna on here. How do I do that? 300 ohm. Flathead, 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 flathead. How about this one? Okay. Sharp. What does this one do? I don't remember. We had... What does this switch do? Where did it used to say power? Huh. Okay, well... Okay, AM. Both of these tuner strings are getting really bound up when they try to go this way. I don't really know what that's all about. Maybe it's just old. Okay. So this sounds to me like we have no front end action because we're getting the static. All right. Now it's time to start poking tubes. Giving each one a little jiggly jiggle. Might make a loud noise. Oh. Get some AC hum with that one. I don't know what that's all about. That's probably the rectifier tube. Oh. Things happen when I mess with that one. Huh. Are they all warm? Yep, that's warm. That's warm. That's really warm. That's warm. 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 Not warm, actually. And very not warm. Okay. So let's go there. I'm going to pull these guys. Let's see. Pull these little shields off if I can. Okay. This one's not very warm. This tube looks fine. The getter is okay. So let's jam it back in. Okay, that's tight. This one is cold. The getter is okay. Pins look good. Let's shove that in and see what we get. All right, coming back. Do I see filaments inside of them? What do you think of that? Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Woo! There it is. Get hot. Do it. I know you can do it. All right. I see that filament. Now is it this one? Come on. Gimme. Okay, that's something. Yep. It works.
Industries.org/budget.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, I'll show you up close. Okay, so what happened there? Well, like a lot of tube stuff, if you just jiggle the tubes, it starts working again. So these two were the problem. It was Pglick123 asked me the question, are they all warm? I looked around, saw those two were not warm. But now I can see that the filaments on these two tubes are orange, which means they're working. And we got a little signal strength meter right here. Oh, wrong one. So it'll get all excited when we're tuned. There we go. And this sounds like something that'd be on 94.7, so I'm gonna call this alignment fine. But now the question is, do we get AM? That might be loud. Oh, AM, anything? Yep. We've got AM, it's very quiet, but we have it.
Storms both days. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley on Classic Country 1090 KBOZ.
There it is. Alright, we only get the one AM station. But, yeah, geez, this thing is getting caught on something. And it's very annoying. I can't easily turn it. I gotta really help it along here. So, that can be a later problem. Aha! I am magic. I am the antenna. Well, that's fun. Sorry. Okay. Great, folks. It's been... what time is it? It is 8:02. That was an hour and a half to get this thing working again. Alright. That is as far as I'm going with that tonight. We have got it working. Great. That is something I've been having to do for quite a while now. What else is going on? We need to clean this up, put it back together, and move on to the Macintosh. That's what needs to happen. So, if you're here for the whole saga, now's a great time to go take a bathroom break, get yourself a fresh beverage, and come back in a few minutes, because unless you want to watch me clean this junk up, it's not going to be a very exciting next few minutes. Okay. Does anybody have anything I can ramble about? Okay. Yeah, I haven't even read the comments. I haven't looked over here since I got it working. Let's see. Woody's Wisdom, SX3200. I mean, anything for that Pioneer generation is probably not terrible, you know. Worth restoring? Probably not, but worth repairing and getting working? Yeah, sure. Clean the controls. Get it working kind of thing, right? 3400. That's the lower end one, but yeah, I mean they're cool. High Tech MC, I don't take work from outside of here. Sorry. Congratulations. Thank you. Where did it go? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay. I'm not gonna chug an NA beer. Cat time. You're not wrong. ASMR assembly. Yep, yep. it is just a Mac tuner coming up here. I'm happy your power washing of your SX650 worked out. No Apple Macintosh, just the American Audio Macintosh. Kitty ran away. She's not in here. I don't know where she went. Hey, who remembers how I took this apart? I think all of this is for the case over here, and I left faceplate on this side. So that means, let's see. I thought I had more screws. Yeah, I thought there were more screws than this. I know I should have a single screw for this. It looks like it was a number 1, but I only have 2 number 1s over here. Did any end up on the floor? Alright, you know what? For all of you, I'll put this together on my own time. I'm gonna get this out of here. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Oh, there's 2 screws I was looking for. Garbage. I need a small bag so I can put these all in it and just worry about it later. Okay. Anything else? I might need that twisty tie later. Don't need that wire though. Okay. Everybody raise your pinky and hold it high, because we're about to get fancy. You know what Macintosh gear is? Fancy. So fancy. So we must be nice and clean for the fancy gear. Alright. Now this Macintosh, the MR67 over here, is in much better condition than that Bell thing, the Bell 6070. Let's give you a nice close-up of the MR67. It is in exceptionally good condition. Faceplate looks awesome. There's just one little scratch I noticed, like over here or something. Yeah, right there, my mode selector. And apparently with this one, there's just a channel out. So what does that mean? Well, I've got high hopes that it's something really simple. Very high hopes. What do I mean by simple? I mean I don't know, jiggle one of these tubes that says right or left audio and have it just come back to life. That'd be cool. Or dirty switch. Okay, so audio outputs. We have fixed output. That's what I want. I would like fixed output. But we'll have to try variable also so we can see if our volume potentiometer is working. Again, don't know the last time this thing was powered up. So we'll just bring it up slow because we can. And let's see what happens. Power on. That's turned down. Guess I'll plug in I'll give it a little wire before I go any further. Yes, I do just keep this wire on the floor. It's easy to get to. Okay. Yep. One little wire on the 75 ohm should help us quite a bit. And there's only FM to worry about on this one, so that's nice. Okay. We have pilot lamp intensity and indicator function up here as well. Didn't notice that. All right. Slowly. Give it 30 some volts. Wait a minute or two. Yes, we are turned on. Turn our volume up on the Marantz so we can hear stuff. All right. Yeah, it's real nice. A little bit more. I don't see anything on the bulb yet. Oh, right. I wouldn't because I'm not on dim bulb. I forgot about that. Never mind. But I don't see lamps lit up. I don't see filaments yet either. So I don't hear anything either. How's everybody doing? Woody's wisdom, I could not recommend the Heiko desoldering tool enough. As far as I'm concerned, in that price range, like $200 to $300, you can't do much better. I do have affiliate links for that in every one of my videos if you choose to buy one and want to help support the channel with by doing that. Mike Villick, Macintoshes are not shit boxes. Macintoshes are the best. It's the best. It's the best. Macintosh has the best tuners. Macintosh has the best amplifiers. It's the best. Okay, we are beginning to get lights here. I forgot I have that going. We are getting current draw, so that's a good thing. But we are getting no sound. Oh, never mind. We are getting sound. And it is only on one channel. I just had muting turned on, I guess. Or, yep. We had no sound because muting is in, so I'm going to take muting out. And we hear that. And I'm going to check the selector, see if we get anything out of the right channel, and we don't. So switches seem clean. So that sounds nice. Pulling in stations nicely. I don't know if you can hear that. But let's let's leave it on static for now. And for my first trick, I'm going to jiggle the right audio tube. The right audio tube is warm, and this is not doing anything. Am I hooked up backwards? How about the left audio tube? No. That one's also warm. Alright, so unfortunately, we actually have to do something. After we jiggle the rest of the tubes, of course. But I don't think that's going to do anything. I got the nice covers on all these. See, if we've got no output whatsoever on the right channel, that could mean that the problem is nearby. Or what I mean by that is it's like it's at the end of the circuit, right? I'm gonna pull this right audio tube real quick just to make sure I have audio still out of the left, and I do. So I do have my channels correct, and I did hear a little something when I did that. So put that back in. Anything at all. I guess the first very obvious thing we can try is replacing that tube. Do I have a 6BL8 tube around? I don't know, let's find out. I've got a stash. Everybody's got a stash. So here's my stash. It's right here. There's a bunch of little ones at the bottom. I guess I'm gonna expose all my secrets by showing you this. But yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh, actually, first I want to try the fixed versus not fixed output. Okay. Even the volume knob on the Mac does not bring it back. Okay. 6BL8. Do we have a 6BL8 tube? If anybody knows what a sub for a 6BL8 could be, let me know. I'm probably not going to have a 6BL8, if I'm willing to guess. Okay. We got 6BA6, BE6. Well, I don't need to be doing this really, because I know I have one working channel. So in order to isolate the tube, I don't need to be doing this, folks. There's a much simpler way to do this. You just go like this. Let's turn the volume back up. So our left audio is working, and now it's not. Right audio, not working. So let's put this tube in left audio and see what happens. It works. So that makes it pretty obvious that it's not the tube. It is not the tube. Okay, so we're good there. I can put this away. I've got an idea. Well, first of all, I guess I can put this up to the 120 volts. And just double check that everything's working okay. I'll definitely have to check these switches. Ooh, this one's got one of my favorite things. I gotta show you. The multipath and signal strength indicator. It's the coolest thing. I think this is a certain type of vacuum tube. Oh, it is coming through nice on the camera. This right here, check this out. When you're tuning through the channels, like it goes small when it's not in, and then gets bigger when it comes in. It comes together when you got a strong channel. I think that's the coolest thing. So we definitely got to get this thing working again. That is for sure. Okay, so this one, I do have a full schematic, and that's probably going to help us quite a bit in doing this. So that's right here. Here is all the stuff. So you probably can't see, but I can see. There's a switch before all of this. So we got to see what's happening, you know, kind of before that switch, right? All right. How's everybody doing? 133 of you still. Hope I'm Ben. Yep, got it. Got it before I read you saying that. Nice to see you, Ben. Okay. Now what do I do, Ben? All right. How do you get underneath this thing? What's going on? Looks like some flatheads. Typical Macintosh. All right, let's cut power and let's get to work here. So that's turned off. Do. What was that? I don't know. Why did I do it? I don't know. But we definitely need to be under here to see what's going on. And then is this gonna... What are we bouncing on? The transformer? Yep, that's okay. Check MPX tubes. Can do, sir. Just a moment. Oh, there's little holes in here for doing the alignments. Interesting. Yeah, for what it's worth, Ben, I heard like absolutely nothing out of the right side when I pulled that tube. So it's quite a bit of nothing happening over there. It'll be interesting to see voltages. I might get out the SG165 just so I can have a clean signal coming in. Okay, now how does this work? Of course there's more. But wait, there's more. How much more? Okay. Looks like there's quite a bit more. Yeah. Okay, Ben. I knew it. Where did I put my nut driver? That's the question. Right here. And is this 1/4 inch? No. This one. Yep. Nut driver is much better. Also for the protecting the gear. You don't want to scratch it because it's a Macintosh. Yep, it's on Hi-Fi Engine, Ben. I'm sure you figured that out by now. Okay, is this any different? Yes. Okay. Cover. Alright, it's off. And we've got a sticker. AudioClassics.com. Audio, home theater, stereo. Vestal, New York. You know where that is, Ben? You heard of these folks? So it's been with somebody before. And I can already tell where somebody's been. Well, maybe. These look like new capacitors to me. Then again, I've never seen Top May capacitor before. Gosh, Mac stuff is laid out so nice. So pretty. Okay. Let's get the voltmeter going. So we're gonna need it. We're gonna need to follow the signal. Door sticker inside. What would a door sticker be? There's nothing inside of the cover, at least. All right. I'm just doing a brief visual inspection to see if there's anything obvious. I do see a few things that are notorious for being problematic. The first thing I see is a bumblebee capacitor, but that's just going straight to ground. That shouldn't be causing our problem. And then I see, what do you call these guys? They look like a domino. It is this style of capacitor. I think I saw Mr. Carlson's lab talk about these guys once. Apparently those are less than ideal and should be replaced, but yeah, I don't know. And then we've got an original filter capacitor back there, which, you know, might be problematic someday, but that's not our problem today. If that were our problem today, we'd have problems on both channels. Okay. Check the outputs for connectivity to the tube output. Unlikely, but simple. Yes. All right. So now I need to do something. Could one of these resistors be completely failed? All right. Let us see first. I'm going to go to the schematic and I'm going to look and see where the signal comes in to those 6 BL8 tubes. It looks like we enter at pin 9. So what I should be able to do at pin 9 is I should be able to hook up my multimeter to pin 9 of each channel, and I should be able to modulate some level of AC, even if I just set this thing to static. Where's a good ground point? Any of these should be okay. Let's go right there. All right, so for my first trick, I'll turn this back on. I think we're okay. No, I need to do that first. Okay. How many amps do we pull? About 0.4 amps. Oh, it's going down. This one pulls less power than that bell. Okay, so volume. Anything? There we go. Okay. Muting out. Turn this volume down. So what I should be able to see in AC at pin 9 is something that's modulatable with the volume. Okay, and then pin 9 is going to be the one that says 9. It has a green wire. It should be 0 volts at pin 9. 0 volts DC for sure. Frig. These things are not very good. Oh, and I lost my ground. Okay. Come on. Pin 9, pin 9. Okay, that's maybe something. I'm going to turn the volume down on this. Is that right? I don't think that's right. Okay, both tubes, the filaments are lit up. Okay, DC voltage should be 0. AC voltage. Oh, wait. Okay. I just realized the volume pot, that's not doing anything at pin 9. So maybe I should turn muting back in and then see if I can get these numbers to modulate. Okay. Well, now I'm noticing muting is actually not working. Okay. Let me try. Okay, so that's the left one, which is working. And the right one, which is not working. Has a smaller number?
Forces in the nation. 1,000 feet of net down in a personal best or qualifying. Plus, the half marathon is the official road
I don't think I'm doing this properly. Let's see. What are people yelling at me about?
The Little Buzz Run for Kids on Friday, packet pickup on Saturday, and post-race activities on Sunday. This event is all about family,
Okay,
community,
scope
and
at
celebration.
C79,
Don't
C80.
miss the chance to be part of this outstanding
Let's do it.
campaign.
Scope it.
Register today at
All right.
See You at School, presented by Opportunity Hall. Sponsors include Peter Luger, Computer Wealth Management, YMCA Booneys, and Planet 106.7.
Okay.
Hosted by 406 Race Series. Desert Mountain Broadcasting and Love
Where
Bozeman
are they?
supports our community. The Gallatin
Yep.
County Bar
C79 and
Association
C80 are
Free Law Club
0.02 microfarad.
featuring candidates
They are coming
and Gallatin County Attorney
off
Wednesday,
of
September 23rd at 6:30 p.m. in Gaines Hall on the Montana State University campus. The forum is free
okay,
and
mode
open to
selector.
all. This message is brought
That's
to you
right
by
there.
Country Foods and First Security Bank.
C79 and C80.
Because of the
They're
many
going to be
essential
near
benefits of omega-3 fats, I highly recommend to
to
your own
330 microfarad, or
definitely give them
no,
omega-3
330 pico.
supplementation every day, especially fish oil containing larger amounts of DHA fats because
Okay. What do we got? What do we got? Okay. Mode. Right there. These wires. Okay, I think we're on to something, Ben. I see, okay, well those are two 10 microfarad capacitors, and they're coming off of volumes, well maybe not that. Let's see, does this thing have any, is this thing like a Sam's Photo Fact where they've got a little thingy showing where all the components are? Not quite. Not quite. Okay. But yeah, we've gotta check out the MPX. Gotta hate when these PDFs are broken into 2 pages like this. It just makes everything very difficult. Okay, so the MPX tubes are which ones? They are wait, why aren't they? AU7. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Coming off of a core. 4 diodes. Where's the 4 diodes? 4 diodes. 4 diodes. Aha! Aha! 4 diodes. It's a circuit board. So. Jeebus. Where? But none of the components are labeled on the circuit board, of course. C80 and C79, 0.2 micro. Well, that should be a bigger capacitor, right? Okay, so there's the 4 diodes. Is it those two right? No, that's 4700. Oh, 0.02? Are they in parallel with resistors? Yes, they are. Kind of. Okay. And that is a brown, black, green resistor. Where's my chart? Brown, black, green. 1, 0, 100K. One mega? Is that what R82 and 81 are? 10 times 100 kiloohms is 1 meg. Okay. Yeah, okay, I found it. Let's see. It's the end that's not going to ground. So it would be... Okay, I found it. I found it. There's a little tiny board in there. There's your two 1 meg resistors. It's going to be your yellow wire and your white wire. So we need to check those two for audio. And we've got the scope going. You can't see that. Now you can see that. Volts per division are probably not correct right now. Let's put this on ground. And then let's pull this, right? Does this come off? Yeah. And then I can poke stuff. Let's turn off channel 2. And let's move this one like our, yeah, put that like right there. Okay. 200 millivolts per division, so that's what I sound like right there. We don't need this in our way. So, output of one of them, that's nothing really, and then this one is more something. Let's see. Okay, so things are happening there if I switch the channel. See, this is where the SG165 would be really nice. Because then I can just get a sine wave and then that shows up there. So we're running out of room on the bench, but let's go ahead and get that set up. At least I won't need the frequency counter for this. I just need any signal. Let's see. So if you don't know what I'm doing is I'm getting out my FM signal generator. And what that's going to do is it's going to inject a frequency into the antenna, like an FM frequency, like 90 or whatever. And what it's going to do on that frequency is it's going to inject a sine wave at 400 hertz into the tuner. So what that means is I'll be able to both hear and see a sine wave on the oscilloscope. Well, I'll be able to hear it through the speakers, and I'll be able to see it on the scope. Okay, and I need to clamp onto these two posts on the antenna. And I'm still using my original SG165 connectors, which is less than ideal. Okay, I'm in, so I should be able to turn this on. We're on, boom, 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 and then turn this up some, and let's see, where are we broadcasting? About 98, so, and there it is. So that's what I'm looking for there. So, to put that into practice, let's put this thing back on ground. I'm going to see if I can watch that come and go on the output here with my cables that are not long enough. Okay, yep, that looks good. Okay. Oh, we need to increase our volt, or decrease, so that it'll trigger and we can see it. God, that sucks. Okay. Okay, yep. That's what we want to see on one of the channels. And here's the other one. Haha! That's not right. Okay, so something's wrong over there. Well, actually, no. No. Well, it's only kind of wrong. Oh, this is weird. This is really weird. So I'm making it go up and down by adjusting the tuner. But should I be able to do that? Here's the working one. Okay, I can get it to go up and down in a way over here. But this is how I would expect it to look. So something wonky is happening over here. What happens before it? Well, that just goes to ground. Okay, we don't need to listen to that. If I increase this a little bit, what does it look like on that side? Okay, so here's the quote bad channel. Yeah, see? Interesting. Get better resolution one more time. Okay. Good channel looks like that. Bad channel looks like that. So, okay, that might be what we were seeing earlier. So why is it just hanging out up there being all crappy? That's weird. Yep. Found the 1M resistors. Okay. So that's informative. What else could be going wrong with that? Yes, DC bad. DC bad. How much DC do we have here? Let's find out. Just out of curiosity, it's not going to be very useful, but maybe you'll be able to see that. At the good channel, no DC. Bad channel, 1 volt of DC. All right, an entire volt of DC happening over there. So let's figure out. Yep. Isolates it to the MPX board, Ben says. So let's look more closely at that. So we've got, could it be a diode? Could it be a bad diode? Maybe, I don't know. The diodes are supposed to, well, no, why would that be happening? Why would that be happening? So, capacitors are supposed to filter out DC. But something like that, like a little ceramic guy like that, isn't going to filter out that much. Maybe. Okay, so picofarads. Unless it says micro. Okay, so I could look at the anode of D8 and the anode of D7 maybe. But which one is D8 and which one's D7? See, Macintosh did not label their boards, so now I need to like look at the traces and figure it out for myself if I want to know. And that's annoying. I also wonder, yeah, an entire volt. If I go out of stereo, does that do anything? No. That don't do nothing. Okay. Just curious. If I mess around with any tubes, we got 1 volt there. Does this change anything? No. Does this change anything? No. Alright, so... And of course, this is the spot in the schematic that is between the 2 pages. I should print this to get better visibility into it. I guess I can check voltages at tubes. That could be helpful. Okay. How about we start with, what do you all think? Correct. It is not the controls. Let's start looking at some voltages on the tubes. So let's look at V. What should we start with? V12 or V13? Where is the other half of V12? V13, I got both halves right here. So, okay. Let's just start at V13. So, V13 is the 12AU7, which is the MPX-OSC. And that one is sitting higher, I believe. Okay. At pin 1, we should have 82 volts. So let's check that. Can you all see the multimeter? Yeah, you can read that, hopefully. Pin 1. Where's pin 1? It's the one that's next to the empty slot. Okay. We go clockwise. Cool. Pin 1 should have 82 volts, and I'm going to put my cap back on here so I reduce the risk of blowing stuff up. Pin 1, 86 volts. Great. Pin 2, negative 1.1 volts. Negative 1.5. Great. Pin 3, 3.2 volts. 4.1. It's in the ballpark. Is pin 4 published anywhere? No, it does not look like it. Pin 4 is attached to pin 5. Pin 5 is not listed. I don't know, let's read it anyways. What does it say? 86 volts, so something from the power supply. Okay. Pin 6. 82 volts. What do we got? 87 volts. Pin 7. 0 volts. That makes sense. Nice black wire. Wait, is that 0 or is that... Negative 1.26 volts at pin 7. That's not 0. What that's all about. And pin 8 should be 3.2 volts. That's connected to pin 3, so that'll... Yep, 4.1, whatever. Okay, so pin 7 is supposed to be 0, it's negative 1.2, so that's interesting. I don't know what the heck that would even mean. The 38 kilohertz transformer. Okay, and where and how does one test a 38 kilohertz transformer, you say? And where is that in the Oh, is this going to be like L5 or whatever? Okay. C70. Where's T9 at? What is T9? 38 kilohertz oscillator. There it is. I wonder if tapping that does anything. No. Doesn't do nothing. Pins 1 and 2 for that should find their way into that board. Okay, so that might be here. Okay, so we got 13 volts on one side of that, and 13 volts on that side. there. 87.5 there. So we even have anything going to it? 7.5. So Ben, would T9 be that 38 kilohertz oscillator? 'Cause that thing's got 6 pins coming out of it. And that matches the schematic. And it's tough to say. God, I just wish this freaking board had the components numbered. Then I'd be able to know something. Maybe. $13, $12, $13, $15. Okay. 13. 15. 12. Okay, those voltages on those diodes across them are all the same. So R78 is going to be at 27K. 27K is going to be red, purple. 27 times red, purple, orange. Okay. I wonder what R78 and R77 look like. You know, they could have put wire colors or something in here. Thank you, Sony V. We're losing viewers. Okay, thank you, Ben. Get some good rest. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Well, Ben, it'd be great if I knew what pins were what on this thing. Are they labeled? I was checking voltages on it. Oh, they are labeled. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Those things are labeled. So, I'm looking at the schematic. So pins 1 and 2 should have the same voltage on them. Maybe? Maybe. I need to understand how this works, but maybe. Maybe pins 1 and 2 have the same voltage on them, so let's look at that. Okay. Okay. 4. This makes no sense. Are they not in order? 3 is marked, 4 is marked, 2 is on the far end. Is that 1? Are 5 and 6 in the middle? Okay, I think I see where this is. Okay, so this one says 13.98, and this one should also say something like that. 13.98. Okay. So then pin 5. What the frick? Okay, let's go to the other page. See, it's right in the middle, folks. It's right in the middle. Okay. This is so frustrating. Like, where I need to be looking, it's between 2 pages. It's right there and it's cut off, and I don't know what's going on. That's really annoying. But, R72 is in parallel with pins 1 and 2. Like, those voltages are the same at pins 1 and 2. And then it goes through all this, and I'm finding similar voltages at these diodes. It's just somehow over here we get a bunch of DC showing up, and I don't understand why it's showing up over there. So I want to find C76 and C75, but that's like impossible, apparently, unless I can actually find it. I don't know. I don't see anything that says 330 in here. Oh, no, I found it. I found it. There's the 330s. Okay, so I should have on one end like 12 or something, then on the other end closer to nothing, right? Okay, so here's one of them. On one of them, let's see. Which one is it? I'd like to know that. Alright, whatever. So, this is the common. 0 volts over here. Where they're common. Because they're going to ground. Okay, so on the other end, one of them is going to have something, and that something is 13.81 volts. And then the other, in theory, should have the same thing. And it's 13.95 volts. So then there's R78, which is essentially going straight to... So to get from here to there, we need to go through these 3 components. I just checked those ones. Those are grounded. So C78 and C77 are your 1000s. And the 1000s are where? They might be these guys. Are those also grounded? Yes. So grounded. Okay. What's that doing? 13 volts. What about the other one? 13 volts. 13 volts. 13.77. 13.93. So we're getting hotter? Maybe? So then cross C80. So on this one we have 0 and 0. How do we have 0 there? Yeah, that's what I thought. 13.9 something volts there. And 0 volts there. And then over here, 13.7 something volts there. And 1 volt there. So how does that make sense? Is this cap messed up? Let's try. I'll turn that off for a minute. Let's see. Well, it wouldn't be shorted. That would be silly. I'm gonna take a look here. Let's see if this thing does anything. Okay. Capacitor. Infinite. Okay, 0. When I go across here, I get oh, come on, give me a reading. me a dang reading. I'm sorry, folks, this is not entertaining. This is not entertaining at all, but somehow a number of you are still here. Can I put it on the screen? Maybe. Maybe. But it's not a very good schematic. Yeah, I should be asleep too. Well, no, it's only 9 o'clock. I stay up past that. Okay. What do I do? What do I do? Why is there DC there? So, I mean, the signal passes directly through these capacitors, and I wonder, let's see. Can I see? Wait for it to turn on. Okay, we're back. That's working. So, in theory, so we got the working channel right here. But on the other end of that capacitor, I should technically be able to see that signal, right? Because that's where it's coming from. Wait a minute. Oh, this doesn't make sense now. Wait. That's the right channel. But it's weak. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, no, it is a warm beer. Okay, well, that's something. That's something very interesting. Why is the right channel suddenly working? What did I do to make that happen? I played with that a little bit. Anything? Okay. So, alright, that's weird. That's real weird, folks. So maybe it's not in the MPX, maybe it's happening afterwards because, okay, I lost my thing here, but take a look. If we, oh no, it's with the scope. So we were getting weird stuff. Like this was our good channel, this was the left, correct? So we have that at the left. And then now we have this. Oh, now it's funky again. Why? Unless no, I wasn't looking there. What in the heck is happening? Like this was working. Okay, so high signal. Like I just did that on camera, right? It's like we have a thing. What just happened? I'm so confused. What did I do? What did I do? Is it really just a dirty fucking switch? Let's see. Oh my god, is it just a dirty switch? There's no way. Because there, it's back now. Oh wait, no. That's because this is mono to stereo, so that would make sense. Yeah, so I should be able to go like that. Yeah. Yep, and then. Yep. Okay. Huh, confusion. Well, this switch is really, really dirty, so maybe I'll give it a little something. This is gonna be one of those ones where we gotta use the contact cleaner and a swab. What is that? Okay. Because it is so dirty. Okay. I mean, it is like black. Okay, and then we'll give it some deoxit. Just a little bit. Okay, so now we can take that out of the equation. It's not that. Is the microphone still working? Looks like it might be. That's good. Let's do that so that doesn't time out. This gets everybody every time. It's contact cleaner. It's just contact cleaner, folks. Okay. I don't know, folks. I'm getting to a point where I'm not really sure what the heck is going on, right? It is interesting though. Let's see. So that's the volume for that. I'm just checking the output. Why is that acting like that? Okay, so, all right. Let's think about it this way. If we set this thing to FM mono, and we look at what's coming out of the MPX board, we've got this nice beautiful signal on the right apparently, and this nice beautiful signal on the left. They are the same. But if we go to FM stereo, we get something different. You know, we get this DC garbage over here, and then we get the same thing over there. So if we're getting the same thing out of the MPX stereo, what that means is we should be getting the same thing from the output, right? So I'm going to go back to the fixed. Yeah. I'm going back to the fixed output here. And then I'm going to do this. Yeah, so right channel should be getting something, right? We should be getting something out of the right channel. And we are, but it's very quiet. But if the same thing that's coming out of the left channel is going into the right channel, well, then I say, what the heck? So, let's see how this mode selector switch works, because this is kind of interesting. The audio signal's coming right out of this thing. What is this thing set to in the schematic? I don't know. But in theory, if I go over to this switch, right? The switch I just cleaned. We have that yellow wire over here. That's got our sine wave. But that's on FM mono. If I go to FM stereo, okay, so there's that. So that should be this is weird. This switch is so noisy. Let's give it some of this. There we go. Much smoother. I like the way that feels much better now. Okay, so let's also try something. If I'm in MPX, or if I'm in FM mono, what's coming off of the MPX board is actually not going through. I don't know what's coming through on mono, but in theory, I should be able to turn this off. Yep. And when I do that, it's not MPX. So then this one will turn it off, but this one won't. Okay, so what I've actually just done is I think I've just identified that the problem is not in the MPX. In fact, the problem tries to feed its way back into MPX, and that's what's all messed up. So if I take a look at this this switch here, I can see now. Okay. You wanted to see the schematic? I'll show you the schematic. So here's what's happening. Here's what I think is happening. So you just saw that I messed with the scope and I was able to get each channel turned on and off by looking at right here. C80 and C79, this is the output of the MPX. So let's call this the right channel. When I switched the right channel off when I was in stereo on the generator, this went away. And when I switched the left off, it stayed. And then right down here, same thing. Okay, so let's look at this mode switch. This mode selector, this is between mono and stereo. So you've got your right channel going into pin 3 and your left channel going into pin 9. Well, that means this switch is set to mono because check out pins 7 and 1. They're shorted together. That's your mono output. So if I switch to mono, I should be able to see that signal. Sorry, I'm just gonna block it for a minute, if you bear with me. Yeah, these are shorted, so yeah, I get like a messed up signal over there. So I don't think it's the MPX bar. I think it's something in the output stage is really messing some things up here. So what that means is there's probably some jacked up circuitry around these tubes right here. These are your right and left output tubes. Okay, and it looks like I got my my left and right channels wrong in my brief explanation. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to test voltages at the output tubes, which are these two, and we're going to see if anything is bad. So let's get this back up. Okay, got my handy probe. How does that look? That looks fine. Can you read this, DC? Probably. Okay, I'll check the camera. Almost a glare. Almost a glare, but no glare. Okay. Yes, there is some jacked up circuitry, huh? Okay. Let's look at this. Let's start with the right, I suppose, which is actually on the left side of the unit when you're facing the front, and that's going to be this one right here. And yep, that is where I've got my thing plugged in. So I'll turn the volume down. Okay. Pin 1. Pin 1, pin 1, pin 1, pin 1. 28 volts at pin 1. Is this pin 1? Okay, that's not right. What's pin 1 look like at the other one? 14 and 12? Okay, that's weird, but okay. Is that pin 1? Yeah, that's pin 1. Alright, so right off the bat. Pin 1 is supposed to be 28 volts. And it's not on either one of them. Are we at full voltage? Yes, we're sending 117 volts into this thing. Let me double check that. And I think this is where people have been. This is where I see parts that don't look Macintosh to me. Okay, 12 at pin 1. 14 at pin 1. Okay, weird. Whatever, let's keep going. Pin 2, pin 2, pin 2, 0. 0 volts at pin 2. Should have nothing at pin 2. Nothing at all. Okay, 3.5 volts at the quote bad channel. And 0 volts at the good channel. Okay, we're on to something. We are on to something, folks. Why is that happening? Okay, so this capacitor right here, 0 volts, 14 volts, 3 volts, 12 volts. Okay, how about pin 3? Pin 3, pin 3, pin 3. Pin 3, 89 volts there, 89 volts there. That should be a power supply, grid, whatever. I'm learning tube stuff still. Pin 4 I don't see. That must, oh yeah, that must be a filament pin. That's why it's not here. So 4 and 5 must be for your filament. That's why I couldn't find that earlier. Okay. Pin 6 should be 45 volts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be at the end of this resistor. 7, 8, 9. Okay. Pin 6. 88 volts. I think we found the problem. That's supposed to be 89 on that side, or sorry, this is supposed to be 48 on this side and 89 on this side. So what this means is over here, if we have 89 on this side, that means nothing is being conducted by this resistor right here. So why is that? Why is nothing being conducted on that resistor? Because yeah, we're supposed to have 45 volts at pin 6, and we don't. Pin 7 is supposed to be, looks like 1.6. 1.6. 0. And 1.5. Okay. Well. Okay. Things are very wrong over here. So now we just need to understand why these things are so wrong. Okay. Pin 9, well, pin 8 should be 1.6. Second from the last. We have 1.8 there and 1.9 there. Okay, that's fine. And this should be 0, even though it's not. And this should be 0, even though it's not. Okay, whatever. All right. So if we swapped the tubes and that didn't help anything, then either one of these components is bad or the tube socket is not working properly. So let's cut power. Let's wait for that 89 volts to die out, because that's high voltage. Okay, only 3 volts there. Pretty cool. Nice. Good, good, good. Yeah, 2.9 volts there. 3, whatever. What's going on over here? Where's our main filter cap? There it is. Okay, 2 volts, 2 volts, 2. Okay. So, we're going to start checking some resistor values. To start, so I think I can zoom you in for that. Even though my head's going to be in the way the whole time. What do you guys think? Okay. Yeah, it's pretty insane how we're able to do this. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Terry. All right. All right. Thank you, Richard R, for becoming a member. And somebody else became a member. I wanted to thank them. At least I thought I saw that. BitRush, thank you. Thank you for becoming a member. Looks like YouTube is letting it be free for the first month, but after that it's only $2. All right. Ohms. Ohms. Between pins 3 and 6. That's a, like, should be a 22K. So red, yep, okay. We should have 22K. What do we see? 23 on the good one. And 23 on the bad one, okay? What about this one? Over here, okay, between pins 1 and 3, looks like, what is that? Between pins 1 and 3. That's going to be 100K, apparently. Okay. That is about 100K. And that is about 100K. All right. This here should be about a mega ohm. Right? Am I doing that right? Okay. Yep, 1 mega ohm on that thing. 1 mega ohm on that thing. Okay, and what is this one supposed to be? Got 0.7K and 0.7K. Then we have these 2 newish looking capacitors. Let's see what happens. Let's check these big ones first, just for the heck of it. Okay, we've got like 25 micro or so. And then, oh, that's different. Those should be the same. Those should be the same. Why do they measure different? Okay, 20. And, okay, they're about the same. Never mind. Then over here, this capacitor. What happens when I measure this one? That one doesn't really measure. And that one doesn't really measure. Unless it does. What's going on here? What are these? Let's get the other thing out, see if it does anything. Should just behave the same way. Okay, open circuit low cap. That's fine. Open circuit low cap. Okay, those should be okay. Should be. Then again, what is that one? All right. Why is this happening? Look into that tube socket. Okay, that all looks fine to me. I don't know why it wouldn't be working. Yeah, very bizarre, folks. Unless there's just bad solder joints or something, like everything seems okay in here. All the components test similar. I don't know, I guess I'll turn it back on and see what happens. Let's see. Am I turned on? Yeah. Okay. Just have to take some more voltages, I guess. Let me check the battery on the microphone. Oh, we still have quite a bit of battery. Cool. That's the only battery we're relying on this time, is the microphone. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. Okay, so left side is loud and clear. Right side, though. I mean, what the heck? What doesn't make any sense to me is the fact that you've got this massive voltage drop going across the good tube over here. Like, so you go from 89 to 49 over here, which means something is drawing current. Current is moving across this. There is a voltage drop across this resistor. But this one, we got 89. Let me get it to 88. Like, that's wrong. That's very wrong. That would imply that this resistor is open or something. Come to think of it, I checked this with the tube in. I don't think that should matter. I feel like I'm very close, folks. It's like if I I'm touching this, like, this is the output of the whole contraption here. Like, why are we not working? So, okay, I'm gonna try taking the tube out. And then I'll measure again. See if it's any different. We've got the ohms. Yeah, 23K. $23K. So when I push this tube in, do I just push that down, or are we actually getting legitimate contact? I'm gonna try the left tube in there again. See what happens. Okay. I could have sworn trying that didn't work last time, but apparently now that is working. Like, I did it in front of you all, right? So now, in the bad one, we have, well, 90 volts. And then we've got a drop. So what the heck? Okay. Is this a bad tube? Is all of this over a bad tube? Okay, let's put this back in. Okay, now we got left. Wait for it to warm up. And oh, this is stupid. It's a bad tube. Dang it. All that work. Well, at least I found it. Okay. How? How did we get here? How did it take this long? Okay, so I'm gonna pull out the right. Yep. And then I'm gonna pull out the left. And I'm gonna put this tube back in the left. And in theory, we'll get sound out of the left. Yeah, we already get sound. Okay. Am I stupid? Am I stupid, folks? Like, what the hell? I could have sworn we ruled out the tubes early. I mean, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I just didn't get that right. Because this is so obviously a tube problem. I'm reproducing it right now, so. Okay. Guess we'll get a 6BL8 on order. And get this tuner fixed up. Cool. Maybe I'm tired. I'm not that tired though. Okay, well, sure you'll be happy to see that, Ben. I think we found our way back to it in a pretty logical way. Um, just did some pretty straightforward troubleshooting to get there. Um, so yeah, I looked through my collection earlier, as you saw. I don't have, I already forgot, what, 6BL8? Don't seem to have a 6BL8, so I can't do that unless Google AI tells me what a 6BL8 sub is. You could do a ECF80. Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't really want to be throwing tubes that aren't correct into here. Let's see. Audio Karma. Let's see. Okay, maybe we can try finding some of these tubes that some person on Audio Karma says. Let's see. Thank you for the tube offer, but I have a guy in town that can set me up. Okay. Don't mind me while I go down here again. We have tubes that can be subbed. Preferred 6LN8 might be a good one. I also have a bunch of loose small 9-pin tubes in just a bin that could work. Let's see, what is this one? Oh yeah, and then there was, what did the AI say? ECF80, probably shouldn't trust that though. That would be a bad idea. Confirm form, yeah, come on. I'm not a dang robot. Okay. 6GH8. No. 6LN8, 6AX8. Of course, I have everything that's not listed. 6BZ, 6GY. Six BW4, 6X6, 6BJ6, 6AU6. I don't think I have. Well, I certainly don't have one in the box. I suppose I could waste my time going through the unlabeled ones. Let's see. Let's see. Look at all my old junk. I have so much old junk. Ah. That was a nice RCA tube. Alright. I'm probably not gonna... I shouldn't even be doing this. 6U8A. Nope. 6CC7. No. See, I'm just doing this because it'd be nice to end this live stream with a working tuner. That'd just be kind of cool, you know? And if somehow I've got a similar enough tube to make it do something, I don't know. Does anybody know if that's a really dumb idea? Should I just end it? I know where to find one of these tubes if I don't have one here. 6U8A, was that one of them? 6GH8. No, I have everything but one of these tubes. I don't have everything though. Why do I keep finding 6U8As and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's not it. That's not even the right form factor. Needs to be a 9-pin. A lot of these are 7-pin. Alright, I think this is getting kind of stupid. I think I need to wrap this up pretty soon here. This is a very faded 12AX7. I got plenty of 12AX7s. Everybody loves the 12AX7. What is that one? 6BQ5? No. 6KD8. There's a whole bunch in here. What's this one? 6CL6? Nope, doesn't like that one. Okay. This is dumb. We need to wrap this up, folks. I need to thank you all. I need to thank you all for stopping by, spending the night with me. This was fun. This is a lot more fun when we've got a good quality stream and things actually work, right? Yep, 84 watching, that's a good indicator. I don't know what our maximum was. We were at like 130 for a little bit. If you have a question I haven't answered yet, go ahead and ask it in the comments. I think we owe... You are all owed a kitty appearance, so let me just leave this up here. I'll go get a cat after I get some beer. him up from his nap with Mom. So here he is. Congratulations, everybody. You made it. You made it to the end. You get to see the best cat. He is the best kitty. Alright. Yeah, he's not too thrilled about the light, I don't think. Alright. What's everybody got to say? What's everybody got to say? I'm not convinced I looked through them all either. But we'll figure it out. And yeah, thank you everybody for the tube offers. I do have a guy in town here that can help out with the tubes. He's a tube gear collector, I guess. So he's got plenty of stuff. No, Hodor's not pleased. You know, you guys are all so great. I'll go get Sadie for you too. Okay, I was met with a hiss, and this is what she does when she doesn't want to be held. She gets herself like this. Somehow, I don't understand how this works, but this is how it's always been. She is 11 this year, and she's always done this, and I don't understand why. Yeah, she's not pleased. She's definitely not pleased. So, hey, say hi to everybody. Okay, you're done hissing at me. That's nice. She's being polite on camera, so that's good. Alright. It's time to wrap this up, folks. Yes, good night. Good night, good night. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for the super chats. I'll just keep this up every time. This is a fun joke, I think. But yeah, maybe doing a live power wash would be a little bit difficult. It'd be a little bit difficult to do that. I don't even know what the service is like at the car wash. But anyways, so we figured out the bell. The bell's working. I'll put that back together later. We figured this out. It needs a new tube, and well, we'll get that going here. All right. Don't forget, tomorrow is the release of the SX3900. That'll go live at 8 o'clock Eastern. And hopefully that is a good video for you all, an enjoyable one. It's 2 hours long, plenty of detailed repair. There is a bonus rant about dish soap, and there's power washing. The 3900 gets power washed, but you already knew that because you saw that from the power washing instructional videos. Then another thing that I'll be announcing in that video is at the very end, but to the 73 of you still here, I started a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a TikTok page. So if you're on those platforms, I'm trying to pick up my short form game and just kind of get some more followers on there. And another reason I'm doing it is after talking to my buddy Tyler, who's the YouTube channel Diesel, or I call it DieselJL. He doesn't like it when I do that, but that's how it's spelled, so that's why I do it. If you search his channel on Facebook or TikTok, there are so many spam channels that are just recycling his YouTube videos and changing the aspect ratio and putting all these AI titles over it, and they're just stealing his content and monetizing their channels and, you know, profiting off of it. And it's really gross. It makes me really sick. And I don't want that to happen for my channel. And I know one way I can try to prevent that from happening is just having my page active, right? Like I had to get the title, I had to get the page and call it what my channel is, AH Fix It. So that's step one, and then step two is to actually use it and just post any of the content you think the scammers might want to post. And then another thing, Matt at Shuxan Audio, he's had people make scam pages of his channel, and since Matt in the past has offered repair services, um, far more publicly. I've never really offered repair services. Like I only do things here in town on a case by case basis, and so, anyways, people made pages imitating him and tried to get people to send him deposits for work or maybe send gear. God forbid, that would suck. So I don't want anybody making scam pages saying that I'm taking work and then sending money or sending gear. That would be terrible. So I mean, you heard it here first. It says it on all my pages. I don't take ship-in work. I will probably never take ship-in work. It's just not something that's practical for anybody. To offer a warranty with ship-in work with the risk of shipping stuff like this, it's just I want nothing to do with it. And behind me is a whole pile of projects, and in the garage I actually have 2 consoles that I purchased on Facebook Marketplace to hopefully repeat or improve the, I don't know, I call it the magic of the most recent console video. That's my best performing video ever. I think it's at like 350,000 views right now, so that's incredible. Thank you all for watching that. It'd be it'd be cool if the 3900 video coming out tomorrow did that also, but it's not going to. It's just not going to. And I understand that. So that's it. Follow me on the pages. They're there because I want to do more short form, and they're there so there's less of a chance of people getting scammed. And yeah, after the 3900 video, I don't really know what I'm going to post next. I really don't. So I need to figure that out sooner rather than later. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you all. I don't see any pictures. Sorry, I don't see any questions to answer quite, and if there are some, I'm sorry, but I wanna stop this. We've been going how long now? We started this at 6:30. It's 10:14 now, so 3 hours and 45 minutes. And hopefully you were able to hear me well enough. I forgot I wasn't wearing the microphone. So, all right, everybody, take care. Thank you. Have a great night, and see you tomorrow. No, I'm not going to see you tomorrow, but you'll see me tomorrow because you're going to watch the 3900 video. You're going to love it.